What's going on, guys? Thanks as always for tuning in. Today I want to talk to you about a game changer piece of advice that I got from a very successful person when I was young, and it's stuck with me ever since, and I've been able to apply this in every area of my life, whether it's personal decisions, business decisions, in my sales career, in my investing career. It's literally a piece of advice that you can take and apply everywhere, and it has served me well for over 10 years now, and I'm sure it will into the future as well, and I wanted to take the time to share that with you. As always, if you're enjoying the content and getting value from it, please smash that like button to do me a favor, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this with other people that you think would also enjoy this so we can continue spreading the message. So here's the piece of advice that I got 10 years ago that changed everything for me as a young man, and I'll give you the quote first. It was a saying that I heard when this successful person was giving a speech in front of an audience, and I was lucky enough to hear that at a young age. So I'll give you the saying first, and then I'll actually break it down for you and tell you what that has done for me and how you can apply it in your life and in your business. So the saying was, observe the masses, do the opposite. Now, I know that might be a hard one to digest for a lot of reasons that I won't get into, but I just want to say that again: observe the masses, do the opposite. Now, to break this down further for you, for a lot of different reasons, this goes very hand in hand with my natural personality and my natural inclinations and how I like to think and operate. So for me, it was an easy one to really register, and it hit home when I first heard it, especially when I was younger, when I was even more aggressive towards my goals and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to be different than everybody else in a lot of ways with my success and how I saw the future for myself. So it really resonated with me, and it wasn't that hard for me to digest this concept, but I could see how, if you're older, if you've already have your own beliefs and kind of limitations and things in your mind that might be set in stone already or might be holding you back, I could see how it could be very difficult to adopt an idea like this and then be able to apply it. So I'm just going to give you one very simple reason. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this mentality works. There's a lot of different reasons why this is a good mentality to adopt. But I just want to give you one very simple one, and one that's easy to understand for everybody, regardless of your natural wiring. And here's the reason. If you want to be different, you have to act different. If you want a different life than everybody else in society that you're watching and observing, then you have to do something different. Very simply put, in better words, if you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like one. So if you're sitting there and watching the rest of the world and watching the media and the news and society and thinking to yourself, that's exactly what I want. This is the type of lifestyle that I want. Everybody in the world is happy, healthy, wealthy, and I want to do the exact same thing. Then sure, if that's your belief and your conviction, go and do the exact same thing as the masses, and you're almost guaranteed to get the same results. If somebody's giving you a certain advice or game plan, you follow that, chances are you're going to get the same or very similar results. Now, if that's not what you want, if you're watching society and the masses and you want something different for yourself, or you want a life by design, or you want a life that's on your own terms, which is what I always advocate for and my personal passion, and what I want to help people with is to live a life on their own terms, then you do have to do things differently. You do have to take a contrarian approach to your sales career, to your business, to your personal life, and to every decision that you make. Now, that does come with what some people consider to be risks. So let me clear that up as well to really hone in on this subject. So here's the deal with risk. And this is one of my favorite topics that I learned from the investing space. And if you look behind me over here, there's a ton of good investing books there. And I've learned this topic of risk versus volatility from some of the best investors in the world. And when you look at risk, when most of society looks at risk, they're thinking what volatility is, what ups and downs and hardships and periods that are challenging in front of you, they're considering that to be risk. In the investing space, some of the greatest investors like Warren Buffett consider risk to be permanent loss. If there's a chance of permanent loss, then that could be risky. But if it's just mere volatility and ups and downs and day-to-day challenges, that's not risk. That's just volatility. So I went ahead and applied this exact same mindset to my own personal life, my own sales career, my own business, and it's served me well, and I know that it will for you as well. Look at all the decisions that you make as risk or volatility. What everybody else considers to be risky is usually just mere volatility. So look at it through that lens, and if it's just volatility, then go ahead and make those decisions. Go ahead and observe the masses and then do the opposite. But if you see that there is a risk of permanent loss, whether it's permanent loss of capital, permanent loss of resources, permanent loss of relationships, friendships, whatever it might be that you're considering, then that might be an actual risk and you have to actually consider it at that point. So I wanted to cover all of these different pieces that come along with this advice because I don't want to just hand it to you and then have you not understand the full scope of this. So this advice was game changing for me, again, in my business and in my personal life. Almost with every single decision that I've made, I've thought about observe the masses, do the opposite. And if you really look at it through that scope, through that lens, and then also look at risk versus volatility, and then couple that with only taking advice from people you will trade places with who already have the results that you have, who already have the success that you have in the specific areas that you're looking for, then you're good to go. You're well on your way and you can observe the masses, do the opposite, and smile while you're doing it. And you're almost sure to be successful in whatever endeavor you take on. So there you have it, guys. That was the game-changing piece of advice that I got over 10 years ago that changed everything for me. And I continue to use it to this day. And my hope is that it changes everything for you as well. And it helps you achieve all your goals in the near future. And all that said, make sure to smash that like button, comment your thoughts below. I'd love to answer any questions you have on this topic. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next video.